So hi guys, I'm SepPine and welcome back to my channel. So currently we are watching ReZero Season 4 Episode 1 Reaction slash Analysis by Echidnut. So Echidnut is a really good YouTuber for ReZero. He releases like analysis videos after like each season of ReZero. So we are watching the episode 1. We watched the episode 1 of the first episode of season 4. So if you still have not watched my reaction, go watch it. So currently we are watching this Suffering Awaits. Okay, let's see.
ReZero Season 4 is finally here. I'm back from the store with my milk, and I'm ready to experience the craziest anime season of all time. This first episode wasn't really...
If you watched like Echidnut's old video about like season 4 by like after the trailer was released, like he said something like season 4 will be the most traumatizing season. For me, season 2 was the most traumatizing season, but like this season will be like more chaotic. He said so. Let's see.
It was more like a transition from the end of season 3, kind of just wrapping up all the loose ends in Cristela and setting us up for the insane roller coaster of a brainfuck we're about to embark upon. I have to talk about the new opening as well. It's by far the best opening ReZero's ever had, and there's a lot of analysis we can do too. It does spoil some character designs and hints at a couple things, but I'll give a warning before I go there. Anyway, the season opens
I don't care
by
about
showing
like
us the
character designs and
aftermath of
stuff.
season 3. We killed Regulus and captured Sirius, but the city is basically in ruins. Half the population got transformed by Capella, and the other half got eaten by Gluttony, including Julius.
その後、お変わりはありませんか？
ええ、特に変わりないわ。ユリウスも元気そうで。
覚えていただいているだけで光栄です。
Foreshadowing. It was mentioned in episode like season 1. The mere fact that you remember me is an honor. And that honor is gone now. The most chivalrous knight.
Julius got his name eaten, which is different from Cruz.
But it was like part of it, like most of it was Julius' fault. Because when Al was giving us advice that no matter what, don't say your name in front of Gluttony. And Julius was literally watching Al saying it to Subaru. Julius still declared his name in front of Gluttony, and then obviously his name was eaten. So it's partly like mostly his fault. Like it's sad, but it is.
Had her memories eaten, and Rem, who had both eaten. And the fact that not even Reinhardt can remember Julius kind of shows how powerful the authority.
Yeah, like this authority is upon blessings, and somewhere in the cut content it was mentioned like authority takes the more like the bigger priority, then comes the blessings or divine protections which Reinhardt has.
Of Gluttony is. Obviously, Subaru is somewhat resistant to it though, so unfortunately he still remembers that time Julius beat his ass and then kissed Emilia's hand right in front of him. Subaru actually accused him of licking it too, but at this point Emilia can't even testify to that, so I guess we'll never know. Anastasia suggested that we should visit Shala the Sage to reverse the effects of gluttony, and we've heard of the Sage before, but never by that name. I always used to...
Yeah, we just... it was like mentioned only in one part, like in season 1 when Subaru was like traumatized by everything or whatever was happened, like the arc, and then Subaru was at Byaku's old library, and there he was like reading many kind of books, and in one story book like it was mentioned like the 3 great heroes, the sage, the Dragon Lord, and the Swordsman. I'm assuming the Swordsman is meant to be the Bhanashtya family, like the Master Swordsman, like Reinhardt, and then the second, the Sage, is supposed to be the Sola. The name was mentioned. I previously thought it would be Frugal, because he was mentioned as the wise man, and he was like mentioned some of the times in previous seasons, like the white whale subjugation, the big tree planted by him, then the unseen hands, something related to Betelgeuse said, so like because of that. But it
assumed the sage was a man, but I guess that was just my talk.
Oh yeah, the tower, this is the tarot cards.
Masculinity. In the new opening though, there's only one new female character featured prominently, so we can assume this is what Shala looks like.
I knew it, like from the posters it was pretty clear. She's the new guy. I think I got spoiled the name also, the Sola, that her name is Sola, so yeah.
I would love to tell you my thoughts on what Shala looks like, but I really need this video to stay monetized, so I'll just say if she ran me over with her car, I would ask her to put it in reverse and do it again. Anyway, the 3 heroes, the Sage, the Dragon, and the Sword Saint, were the ones who defeated Satella 400 years ago, so we can assume that the sage the dragon
Where were these coins stored? I don't remember. But Dragon Lord, I said something like is the Dragon Lord supposed to be the dragon who has connection and like some kind of oath with the royal family? Is it the same dragon? And the sage?
Sword
Okay.
Saint were the ones who defeated Satella 400 years ago, so we
Yeah.
can assume that the sage is incredibly powerful. The witches
Yeah, and I don't know if like the other aspects, like how the master swordsman like switches after a long period of time, after a certain period of time. So I wonder if like the sage also changes, or is she actually like 400 years old and she is the sage who defeated the witch of envy
in
like
season 2
400
also
years ago.
referred to Subaru as a sage candidate.
Yes, I totally forgot about this part. I did not talk about this in the episode reaction, but I said like there was like many kind of theories going on that end of the rezero would be like Subaru would be the combination of the three heroes together, because it was mentioned that Subaru is a great sage candidate.
Whatever that means. Anastasia describes the sage as the keeper of knowledge who foresees everything that will ever be. So she's also probably
Okay.
very intelligent and wise, which honestly sounds more like a description of Echidna than anyone else. Which brings me to that weird situation with Anastasia. As we saw
Yeah.
last season, Anastasia was acting different and using magic. Situation with Anastasia. As we saw
Oh yeah, she always had that tail, like the muffler. I never noticed that. Was it always? I still can't believe it, because I would have noticed it and like made some kind of connection or something. I don't know, but yeah.
last
And the head of the fox was always hidden. Only one who saw through is Priscilla.
season, Anastasia was acting different and using magic even though she's not supposed to be able to do that. Some people thought she was Capella, but it turns out she's just being possessed by a scarf with
Yeah.
the same name as Best Girl. Back in the day, Echidna
Okay, bro.
created a lot of artificial spirits for various purposes, Beatrice also being one of them. That's why Biako's eyes have butterflies in them. It's because
Yeah.
her design was made by Echidna right after she watched Hunter x Hunter. But butterflies in them. It's
I have
because her
not
design was
watched
made by
Hunter x
Echidna
Hunter. What is
right
that?
after she watched Hunter x Hunter. But
Okay.
yeah, Anastasia's fox thing is just another one of Echidna's experiments from 400 years ago. It's not the revival of Best Girl, although she is revived.
Oh, so it is also by Echidna? I thought like it was too obvious to be made by Echidna, because we know Byakko was made by Echidna and she is an artificial spirit too. But
If you missed my season 2 cut content video,
oh, you know what? In season 3, like the archbishops demanded that they want the gospel, and second they want the artificial spirit also. From that, I assumed they meant that by artificial spirit they means Byakko. What if they meant Anastasia? Because she was here too all this time, and this Echidna spirit is more mysterious because she does not have any memory of how this spawned into this world. Huh.
Echidna did revive in the very last chapter of season 2. She's currently walking around in the form of Ryuzu, but that has nothing to do with
Yeah,
this
and her
Anastasia.
name is Omega right now, and she's in the body of Ryuzu with like some kind of special crystal or something with all the other souls of the other witches who has died in the past. I don't know totally.
Also, if we think back to season 3, one of Capella's demands was to hand over the artificial spirit. At the time, we thought they wanted Beatrice, but they could have been talking about this.
Yes, that's what I am saying, because it's conveniently Anastasia was also here, and the important part is like Anastasia was the one, or maybe the spirit who suggested that we all should come here and to like suddenly like help Emilia to get back Puck. But why would she? I don't know.
One instead. I
It's
thought
so
it was
suspicious.
funny how Julius made fun of Subaru for being kinda sus with the young girls, and Subaru's like, no, I don't even talk to any young girls. And then immediately recruits Meili to his team. Meili should theoretically help out a
Yeah.
lot though, because apparently the desert is a den for demon beasts,
Yeah,
and Meili's
and she
power
has, like,
allows
some
her to
kind of
control them,
blessing
so that
to
should
control
take care of
Mavis.
that part of the puzzle. Although in literally all the trailers we see them fighting the demon beasts anyway, so I don't know. I think we all know why Subaru invited her. By the way, if this video gets 1k likes, I will open the Strait of Hormuz. Anyway, we learned that Anyway, we learned that this Pleiades
Okay.
watchtower we keep seeing was actually built to guard the sealed Witch of Envy, making this the closest we'll ever be to the physical body of the witch. Remember, the
Yeah.
three heroes couldn't kill her. They defeated
Yeah. They defeated her. They did not kill her. She was that powerful. Because the Witch of Envy is meant to be the same level as powerful as Reinhardt, and that is a big feat, by the way, because it was mentioned somewhere, if like the Witch of Envy and Reinhardt started to fight, like it would like continue like forever, and like the world will end, so everything will end, but they will still continue to fight and the fight will never end. It was mentioned somewhere. So basically Witch of Envy is that level of powerful, and all the other witches not even come close. I think the only one who comes close is, I think, the Witch of Sloth, I think. I forgot her name. And the Witch of Envy and Satella is supposed to be like two different personalities. That factor is still not clear, but basically this is Satella, who is supposed to be the a factor of the Witch of Envy, and the Witch of Envy who is like supposed to be the good witch is supposed to be who looks like Emilia, basically, and who Subaru saw in season 2.
her, but weren't able to actually kill her, so
Yeah, and they sealed them like somewhere in the desert and at the like eastern part of the rezero world, and we know that Lugunica is at the eastern part of the rezero world, and they're like at the this dune, this new dune or desert we are going to. This is the
had
desert
to seal
where
her instead, and then they
she
built
is
the
sealed.
Sage's watchtower to guard her body. And apparently not even Reinhardt was able to make it to the tower. He attempted it once, but no matter how far he traveled, he didn't actually get any closer to the tower. So there's some kind of spell or barrier that keeps people away. Kinda like your BO at anime conventions. Garfield reuniting with his mom was a really touching scene. I may have teared up a little bit. At first,
it
though,
was
I
really
thought it was
emotional.
kind of weird how we didn't get much of a reaction from his mom seeing her son again after all these years, but I completely forgot that she lost her memories, so that was a bit confusing.
How did you forgot, bro?
Unfortunately, that's the last we'll see of Garfield. He died.
But the thing is that what if like Garfield's mother, obviously we are thinking that she lost her memory because she went through that accident of like landslide and then she was rescued, so maybe in that process like her head was damaged and her memory was gone. But what if she was also eaten by gluttony and she does not have any memory and we don't know of? So if we fix this issue of like Cruz, then Rem, and if we fix this everything, what if like Garfield's mother's memory will also come back? There is a possibility of that, to be honest.
So that was a bit confusing for me at first. Unfortunately, that's the last we'll see of Garfield. He dies off screen right after this episode, so no, I'm just kidding. He's just not really part of this arc. This is our main squad. For this
Yeah,
season.
I saw this poster. That's why. Yeah, I'm thinking about Rem. Yeah, this is poster, one of the posters I saw. This is Patrasia. Melee is trying to control Patrasia, but Patrasia does not like Melee, I think. Melee only can control Mahavits. I mean, Patrasia can like sense evil nature, so that's why she, I think, was able to sense Melee. Then Ram thinking about Ram. I was thinking then why was Ram brought here, or maybe she's just thinking that she's at home. There was another poster where it's like Ram was sitting onto this chair, I think, and Ram was holding her back. That's when I thought like why was Ram taking her, but basically it was to like cure her if there was some kind of solution found.
Right here, so get comfortable with these guys.
Yeah, Garfield is not coming here, so this arc is, we will not see Garfield. So that is the conclusion of Garfield, at least for now.
Julius did drop
And this first 11 episodes is called the Loss arc, I think.
a pretty deep question this episode. What's more painful, forgetting everything or being forgotten?
I mean, as Subaru said, there is no point of thinking of what is more painful because both are painful. It just matters like it can like value differently to different persons, and it can damage like the person equally. So there's no point of thinking that, but still it is really interesting to think about it. What is more painful? I think both. Like Rem. whose name and identity memories both were eaten, and you became a vegetable. I think that's more painful. But if we had to think like one, then Cruz, and I think being forgotten is more painful, no? Because you have all the memories and you're saying no one remembers you and no one can help. That is the thing. But for Cruz, like her memory was gone, she doesn't remember anything, but she can build from scratch and everyone is there to support her and help her. So if we see that from that perspective, it seems like being forgotten is more painful. But yeah, it's still like as Varu said, ranking pain and how much it like values to someone, it does not like
Subaru
matter.
kinda shut him down and told him not to rank how painful things are, but I thought it was really interesting. Forgetting everything isn't necessarily painful to yourself because ignorance is bliss, but it does affect the people that know you,
Yeah.
especially close friends and family members, and
It
that
does.
can be extremely painful to them. Being forgotten, on the other hand, is basically the opposite. The isolation would take a tremendous toll on you, but it wouldn't necessarily hurt anyone else. So although forgetting everything would allow you to watch ReZero from episode 1 again blind, I think the morally correct option here
That's
is to be
what is concerned
forgotten
about.
because it would hurt the least amount of people. This actually reminds me of another really
Huh. I don't see it from that perspective. I get Echidnut's point. What he's uh looking from which perspective. Basically like the number of people who is being hurt. But I see it from a broader perspective. Like not how many people are hurt, but how hard it is to recover from that and actually find a solution. Because if you are if everyone has forgotten you and you only have the memory, no one can help you. You are seeing no one can even remember you, like no one is there to help you, and like it will be much more harder to recover from that position. But if it's like Cruz, you can like everyone can support you and back you out to help build from scratch, and you can get into that position again when you will have most of the memories, like new memories back. I'm seeing it from that perspective.
deep philosophical question I came up with the other day. It was
Okay.
about dog penis. The question was, would you rather suck one and nobody knows, or not suck one, but everyone thinks that you did? On one hand, there's no amount of mouthwash that can erase the dog wiener that
Why are we talking about this?
that taste will haunt you forever. But if you're mentally strong enough to cope with the shame, you could more or less continue life normally afterwards because at least no one knows what you did. The alternative, in my opinion, is much worse because even though you know the truth,
What the
everyone
fuck
else
is
will
the
treat you
background?
like you actually sucked it. And after living every day with that amount of psychological torment, you might go crazy and start questioning reality. You'll be lying in bed thinking, maybe I really did blow a dog. Or maybe you'd go out in public and start blowing cats just to prove people wrong. At the end of the day, though, I think it really depends
Oh
on...
yeah. By the way, Otto used to like that cat. By the way, yeah, this cat. By the way, there is some hidden theories, and basically Otto is Pandora. So Pandora basically likes cats. That's my conclusion. The end of ReZero. Goodbye.
start blowing cats just to prove people wrong. At the end of the day, though, I think it really
What?
depends on what breed of dog we're blowing here.
Let's see.
At the end of the day, though, I think it really depends on what breed of
Maybe an white German Shepherd.
retriever would obviously be preferable to a pug, but let me know in the comments what species you would blow. Anyway, back to ReZero. Did you guys miss me? I want to talk about the opening now, and although it does
What was
contain slight
go
spoilers,
on?
I'm not going to go out of my way to ruin anything like the second trailer did. Don't watch that
Slight
trailer.
spoiler?
It fucking spoils everything, so I'm not even going to reference that. This opening song is absolute fire, by the way, and the animation is on another level. Echidna even shows up for a second. There's a dope transition from Satella's eyes to Amelia's, and then I really love the scene of Subaru falling down the staircase and then watching himself die over and over. Remember never to trust birds in ReZero. This baddie is most likely Shala, who looks incredibly hot. I'm so
Yeah.
glad her design didn't get censored,
She is
which,
Shala.
by the way, is the exact same color pattern as Subaru's tracksuit. What
Yeah.
exactly does this mean? I don't know.
And why this is important, I think, personally, because the name of the watchtower is Pleiades Watchtower. And if you remember, the constellation sign of Subaru is the Pleiades constellation. And Pleiades means the united, who is supposed to be Subaru, who like basically unites like the powerful peoples together to solve problems. And like Subaru always wears that color of that theme colored like tracksuit, and she has the same suit, same dress color. So there's some connection here. I don't know what to make of
or
it.
do I not? All I know for sure is that nothing happens on accident in ReZero. They also show us these coins of the three
that's
heroes,
true.
the Dragon, the Sage, and the Sword Saint, and then it cuts to a new character we
Oh, I think I know this character. This is supposed to be Raid, right? Like, who was the first swordsman? I think.
haven't seen before, and then a sword appears. This implication is a bit less subtle. Obviously, they want us to think this guy is the Sword Saint, but that can't be possible because Reinhardt is the Sword
I mean, Reinhardt is the sword saint. But what if the hero sword saint is not meant to be Reinhardt? It's supposed to be this guy.
Saint, and the original one died 400 years ago. And I think Theresia's death last season made it pretty clear that there can only be one Sword Saint at a time. This guy does
That's
look
true.
like he's related to them though, especially
Bro really said bro does not want to give spoilers, by the
when
way.
you consider that so far every red-haired character in the past 3 seasons of the anime
We
has
get
been
it, bro. You
Stray.
can
We also
stop.
get a quick peek at the dragon and then a female character's hand. Now, I don't know whose hand this is.
Is this supposed to be Anastasia? Because there is like a purple border. It can be Emilia too. Emilia's dress is also purple. I don't
If it
know.
was a foot, I could tell you immediately. But I'm just gonna go off on a limb here and say it's not Ricardo. This book here, I
Bro did not help.
believe the translation is just a page from the first volume of the light novel, but I read that on Twitter, so who knows if it's true or not. The interesting part is this frame, where the number of books on the floor does have
Is this the same storybook which Subaru read long time ago about the 3 heroes, and the library
knows
is
if it's true or not. The
meant to
interesting
signify
part is
that?
this frame, where the number of books on the floor does have a significant meaning that I don't feel comfortable spoiling.
Number of books? Oh no, I'm going to count it. 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46. Did I count it right? I am most
But if
certain
you
that
wanna
I
ask about
counted it
in the
wrong.
comments, I can reply and tell you. This staircase scene went so fucking hard, it might be my favorite part of the opening.
Yeah,
I
the
just
staircase scene, like I don't know the context of the staircase scene, but I know this is like a really popular scene, and like I have seen
can't
edits of
stop
it.
watching it. And finally, right at the end, we get something very mysterious. From a first glance,
It's not at the
stop
Rame.
watching it. And finally, right at the end, we get
I think it's
something
Rame.
very mysterious. From a first glance, this background might look like some artsy bullshit you'd see in an anime opening, but this is an actual place in ReZero,
This place.
and we got a glimpse at it last season. All we know
Oh.
so far is that it has something to do with gluttony, and we can see
Oh, something with gluttony. Is this the inside of the whale? The great whale? Is this the bone structure? But the bone structure, it does not look like a bone structure. It's like really odd. But these white patterns look like scales. Or it can be like a other dimension just for like gluttony. Like when a certain person is like eaten by gluttony, maybe they are like their soul or whatever is basically trapped here. So Subaru is like basically here to like rescue Rame. That is the significance
here
here.
too, so this definitely reiterates the primary objective of the season, and that's
Yeah.
reversing the effects of gluttony. This episode was a 10 out of 10. Honestly, not the strongest way to open the season. This was definitely a setup episode, but
Yeah, basically
that's
slice of
okay
life.
because we aren't gonna have many of those this season.
Yeah.
It's gonna be absolutely crazy. Once again,
is
this
gonna
arc
be
is widely
chaos.
regarded as the best in the series so far, so just prepare
Yeah, I'm really excited because Echidnut is
yourself.
hyping it
That's all I'm
out.
gonna say. Make sure you
so much.
subscribe because I'll be posting videos for every episode as usual, except it's not
Yeah.
gonna be the same as it was the last 2 seasons.
And we are gonna watch every one of them. But that's basically it. Not many hidden info, just more analysis and his opinion, and then a big monologue about how you suck dog. I'm not gonna go too deep into that, but yeah. And more about the trailer. The trailer part was more
First volume
interesting,
of the light
basically. because I like watched the trailer once. I did not look too deep into it. That's basically it for Echidnut's this video. The link of the original video of Echidnut's video will be in the description. Go support him, and yeah, I'll see you in the next reaction video. Until then, see ya.